right, man, we back. Mercy Sports Talk. We know the football game's about to come on today. NFC AFC Championship game, and for the 100,000th straight year, the Lions ain't a part of it. But let's talk about this, man. I seen this kind of going around. The Lions, water cooler talk, and people want to draft Jeff Okudah, the corner out of Ohio State. All right. And the reason why I say right now, and it's hard to really kind of say because I don't know what the Lions are going to do in free agency, but a lot of people like to kind of build a team on, kind of want to build a team like it's Madden, but that's not how you build a football team. And the Lions got a lot of needs, and the secondary, in my opinion, is one of its strengths. You know what? And that just shows you how strong the team actually is, but it's one of the strengths. Even trading Quadre Diggs is still one of the strongest groups on the team. And the reason why you don't take Jeff Okudah as constructed is I'm about to tell you right now. And if they do want to take Jeff Okudah, I'm going to tell you what they need to do to grab and to make Jeff Okudah successful. But hey, we back. Motor City Sports Talk. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Share the video. And one of the reasons you don't take Jeff Okudah is because a football team ain't built from the back end to the front. All right? The first thing people talk about, well, the Lions don't have a pass rush. The Lions didn't stop the run. The Lions couldn't get after the quarterback. And no matter who checking in the secondary, you can have Dion, you can have Chris McAllister, you can have Ronnie Lott, you can have Ed Reed, Palomalu, you can have whoever you want to have. If your front end in today's NFL, we may have a difference of opinion on this. But if this was 20 years, 30 years ago, maybe my opinion might be slightly changed. But if you don't have front end, your back end is going to suffer. At least, and I'll get the Eagles, for example. The Eagles got great front seven. And they still made it to the playoffs, right? And they didn't have a great back end when they won the Super Bowl. But their front seven was good at getting after the passer and stopping the run. So they got away with having a subpar secondary. Now, eventually, is it going to catch up with you once once guys start to slow down and get injured? Yeah. So you got to have a straight secondary. But to go out there and draft Jeff Okudah, that's the same thing as drafting TJ Hockenson. And I'll tell you why in a second. But as this team is constructed, they need help up front. I mean, everywhere. Trey Flowers need a running mate up front. Deshaun Hand got injured. He needs somebody that can come in and back him up. Harrison may retire. Robinson is a free agent. He been utter trash. Trash. So you need a whole new front line, basically, because you need depth. And when the Lions was at their best up in the front, and they was at their best for a long time, they had waves of guys. You know what I'm saying? It was George Johnson. It was at one point Vadenbosch, Cliff Avril, Fairley, Sue. They were bringing C.J. Mosley. They just had waves of different guys. Andre Fluellen, Sammy Hill. They had waves of guys, and that's how the Lions wore people out with their front seven. You know what I'm saying? With their front four. And the Lions right now, you're looking at Deshaun Hand coming off an elbow injury. Then he got injured again with another injury. You're looking at Trey Flowers. And, Tavai, he not ready to start. He got better, but is he really a starting linebacker yet? Probably come next season, you probably can say so. But other than them three, your only three really good defensive linemen that you got. Front seven that you got. And if one of them get injured, then your depth is exposed. You know what I'm saying? Then your depth is exposed, so now you sitting there looking like, we ain't got no depth. So what you need to do is you need to fill in the front seven. Now, if that's in free agency, you look at Clowney, you want to look at Everson Griffin, you want to look at some other defensive tackle prospects out there that may not or may get franchised. We don't know yet. But the football team is built from the trenches out. Now, have Bob Quinn missed? Yeah, he missed in the whole offensive line. Except for Frank Ragnow, if they let Graham Glasgow walk. He missed on every free agent pick, every draft pick he missed so far, except for Ragnow, Graham Glasgow walked. But that's how football team is built, from the trenches on out. And if you draft Jeff Okudah and you don't address the needs up front, the linebacker's terrible. All their linebackers backups except for Tavai. Davis is a glorified backup. He's a depth guy. Your front seven is atrocious. So if you go out there and you don't properly address that front seven, you put Jeff Okudah out there next year, it's going to look like Hockenson. They're going to have a field day on him. But people say, well, Marcus Peters did good. Well, Marcus Peters is an exception to the rule. He had Justin Houston and Tom Ali on the outside. That's a cornerback's best friend. When you got people that push the pocket and rush throws, that's when Marcus Peters at his best. Marshawn Lattimore went down to New Orleans. He fell into a fabulous situation where Cameron Jordan and those boys up front, they got pressure on the quarterback. He benefited from it. If you don't generate no pressure on the front end, in this today's league where you can't jam them past 5 yards, or you can't be hands-on down the field like they used to be and beat these receivers up, you're gonna get exposed. And when you're dealing with younger players, sometimes traumatic experiences they never recover from. So you putting Jeff Okudah out there and your front seven need a lot of help. Can't do it. So they have to address the front end this offseason. And it's hard to address it with veteran players because you don't know when their expiration date is or when they gonna get out their prime. You pay these guys all this money, and then they come here and be lazy. So that's why you always want to build your team through the draft and strategically pick the free agents that you really want. But the reason I say this kid might be T.J. Hockenson next year is because the cornerback position is another position. If the team in front of them is not built properly, how Marshawn Lattimore went to New Orleans and succeeded out of Ohio State, Marcus Peters went to Kansas City and succeeded with 2 great pass rushers on the edge. If your team is not built right in the front end where they can push the pocket, get the pressure, stop the run, and be dominant up front, in the back end, you're going to suffer. Jeff Okudah going to suffer. He can technically be having a good year, but if you're going 7 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, any corner going to struggle. Any corner going to struggle. Same thing with the tight end position. The tight end position is a position that it takes some time to learn. It's not a position where you plug and play and you could be good. Mike Dicker, for God's sake, still got the best rookie statistical tight end season. Not Tony, not Gates, not Jimmy, not Travis Kelce. That's a position. Look at George Kittle. He's been in the league 3, 4, 5 years. It takes time. In a cornerback position, it takes time. Yes, you get a Deion, you get a Peters, Lattimore. Those are all exceptions to the rules. It takes time. In the cornerback position, it's really it's a dependent position. It's dependent on the quarterback throwing it to the receivers. It's dependent on the pass rush, doing their job. If the pass rush don't do their job, any corner getting exposed in today's league. So once again, you trying to build the team from the back end to the front, no matter, that don't work. He better be an exceptional talent. And if the team is trying to build and be a team next year and be a really good team, y'all want them to turn around and be San Francisco, that ain't the way to go to put Jeff Okudah there. He don't score touchdowns consistently. And he don't have the team in front of him to be that good. Once again, it's like taking a tight end. It's going to take years for him to get good and them to put the front seven in front of him. It's going to take you. He's not going to have a Chase Young in front of him in Detroit if they do that. So people saying, Jeff Okudah, you don't build the team from the back end to the front. This team is in total rebuild mode. Get it out your mind that the Lions are 1, 2 steps away, 3 steps away, 5 steps. This team is a whole 12-step program away. Everything. The only position that's tightened up is the tight end position. That's it. That's it. If they get rid of Graham Glasgow, they need a right guard and a backup center. That's what they're losing. They need everything from quarterbacks to running backs to receivers too slow. They need everything but a tight end. Defensive tackles, defensive ends, linebackers, cornerbacks, safeties. They need everything. You know what I'm saying? And most people get an idea when they train theirs, we put Okudah in. Do you know it takes time for a rookie cornerback to get adjusted? No matter how good it's an adjustment period. Like I said, you got your exceptions. But with that front seven, man, it's not a good situation to put that kid in. And that front seven is not a good situation. You go out there and you put Okudah and Armani Guard, we put Coleman out there. Right? But then you don't have no front seven. That's one of the reasons Coleman got exposed this season. All that man coverage you playing. Y'all forget y'all not paying for Bill Belichick. You're not playing for Bill Belichick. You playing for a guy that play all this man. Anybody gonna get smoked in man without no pressure up front, without blitzing up front. This guy don't want to blitz neither, so he needs the front seven where they gonna be able to create havoc with stunts. You know what I'm saying? And just with the 4 pressure. Sometimes he like to rush 3 and just play coverage. This dude is like playing a dude in Madden and just play prevent. And you know what I'm saying? and pass commit. This is what the defense, he literally playing defense like Madden. There's no sending no double blitzes up the A gap or the Z gap. It's none of that. So when people talking about Jeff Okudah, he gonna get smoked out there playing in this system, man, if they don't address the needs up front. So they gotta address the needs up front. And usually you want to address that with young, fresher players. This team just needs everything. But if you think Okudah gonna come in and have an impact on this team and they don't address the front end, you crazy. Gonna be another Hockenson. It's gonna be somebody. Bob Quinn gonna be long gone. Hockenson gonna be an All-Pro, and Okudah eventually gonna be an All-Pro. He not gonna benefit from that. He not gonna benefit from that. You get to the top three. It's a reason why you see a lot of quarterbacks getting moved in the top three, and you know what I'm saying. You see guys like that. Top three is quarterback spots. You know, special defensive lineman spots, special receiver spots, guys that can make a direct impact. A cornerback is too dependent on everything going right, dependent on the scheme, dependent on everything is dependent on the scheme, dependent on the front end, dependent on the safety, dependent on the coverage. It's the dependent position. Jeff Okudah would be a dumb pick if they don't address the front seven. It's dumb. It's just like Hockenson. Cornerback position is meant to take time to learn. Reeves wasn't that guy in year 1, year 2. Eventually he became that guy, but at the end of the day, it's just my opinion on it, man. But you don't build a team from the back end to the front. But hey, it's Motor City Sports Talk. Let me know what you think. I'm wrong. You agree? Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email. We have business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video questions. Don't forget to check out the channel out too. Goodfellas Sports TV for more sports, music, news, and entertainment. One time for the one time. It's your boy CJ Goodfellas. We go.